When we last left off, Phyllis recommended her favorite recipe and that we turn to page 52 and look at it. And page 52 was blank. So here we go. Is it a pie? Is it a cake? It's a casserole. Nothing gives a greater impression of domesticity than home-baked breads. I tried making homemade bread once. It was still on the bird feeder when spring came. There's a, there's a little cartoon of a dead bird. Number 1. At coffee clatches, say, my husband can always tell when I use a mix. Don't tell the whole truth by adding, he says they taste so much better. When I make anything from scratch, it tastes scratchy. Number 2. To impress your girlfriends, cover empty bread pans with towels and put them in front of the radiator. Number 3. If you bake, make pies with out-of-season fruit. Your family will have forgotten what it's supposed to taste like because they haven't eaten any lately. Number 4. Above all, don't feel you're lying when you use the term home-baked if the bakery is in town. Number 5. One final invaluable tip. Make a scrapbook for your family, cutting out pictures of baked items and writing, this is a pie, and this is a coffee cake under them. Then they won't embarrass you when they go out by not being able to recognize them. What Heloise doesn't tell you. For the young people, there used to be a column called Helpful Hints from Heloise. Number 1. I just said young people, like I'm 60. Okay, number 1. If you get the sugar and flour in the wrong canisters, do not wait until they are empty at the same time to switch. I tried waiting and it took 17 years. Number 2, when you see 7 boxes of powdered sugar and 8 of cream of tartar all in use, realize that it's time to combine things. Number 3, don't waste time trying to combine items in spray cans, as the holes are too small. Number 4, replace the labels on store-bought pickles with your own, writing a month and year. Be sure to use the month women ordinarily put up pickles. You can easily find a cobweb to drape on the jar so it looks as if it's been in the fruit cellar. A perfect waste of calories. Don't follow the adage, feed a cold. I did that once, and the way I cook it turned to pneumonia. Just stick to the following rules. Number 1, when a dishwasher says wash foul, don't use the dishwasher. Number 2, if your husband says, I want you to be an old-fashioned housewife and you can start by dressing a chicken for Sunday dinner, you know he has to be kidding. I tried it and it took me 3 weeks to make the blouse. Number 3, you may not know it, but Scotch tape holds a meatloaf together beautifully. I always use it if I'm out of rubber bands or Band-Aids. A little ketchup will cover up the flavor. Before I did this, I could never slice a meatloaf. It exploded. Number 4, never have a countertop built according to your specifications. Always be able to complain that it's either too high or too low. Number 5, on Halloween, don't give out homemade treats. You're just asking for soaped windows. Number 6, sometimes when you're in the beauty parlor, ask if you may clip out a recipe that's in one of their magazines. Have a litter bag in the car that you can throw it in. Applied appliances. No chapter of kitchen hints would be complete without a word about appliances. The few simple rules below will save you hours of labor. Number 1, realize it's time to defrost the refrigerator when you can see the frost on the outside. Number 2, when you open the refrigerator door, assume a model's stance. No matter what ugliness you may behold inside, it will help if you make yourself feel like Betty Furness. Number 3, every few weeks check the fruit in the refrigerator to see if it's a coming in green or an on the way out green. In fact, when my family says they're going to raid the refrigerator, they mean spray it with. Number 4, having a dishwasher can be an educational experience. They really do a better job than you do. I thought I had milk glass and found out I had crystal. Okay. That's the end of chapter 1. No, I mean chapter 2, sorry. This is chapter 3, Phyllis Diller's Successful Recipes. It's blank. Chapter 4, The Hostess with the Leastess. With my invitations, I send directions as a guide, but my house is such a mess, they need a map for the inside. That's from Housekeeping at its Worst. Anyhow, you know they're good sports, or they wouldn't have accepted your invitation in the first place. Try to be gracious, but you have to watch out what you say. Once I said, I love to cook for friends, and someone answered, if this is the way you cook for friends, I'd hate to see how you cook for enemies. Another time I asked, dessert now? And they said, no, we'll stick it out. But no matter what is said, it is important for the hostess to be gay and at ease. To help attain this status, the following points should help. False impressions. You need never ever feel embarrassed again by how rotten your furniture looks. You can always, number 1, give a sentimental value to any piece that looks beat up. Say, we'd get rid of that chair with the springs showing, but I was sitting on it when Ronnie brought home his first report card with a grade above F. Never say, it's either that or sitting on the floor. Number 2, no matter how well your guests know you, pretend you've got class. When I point out a piece of furniture, I say, that's a Ben Franklin, in a tone that doesn't give away the fact that that's the store where I bought it. Ben Franklin was a 5 and dime store. Dial M for messy. A little intentional sloppiness can cover up weeks of not cleaning your house. Try the following tips. Number 1, placing a tipped over flower pot in view. Any dirt within 50 feet can be blamed on this, and anyone knows that this is Better Homes and Gardens type dirt. Number 2, or if you prefer, a few cactus plants sitting around will make the sand on the floor look like part of the decor. Number 3, buy an easel and leave it lying in a conspicuous place. Much will be forgiven if people think you're an artist. A few wrinkles from an expert on wrinkles. Number 1, invariably a guest will ask to use the phone, so never have it located in your ever messy kitchen. Have one put on the front porch. Number 2, hook a whisk broom on the bottom of the stair railing so a kid can brush himself off when he comes down. Number 3, if you do anything new to your house, don't let anyone know. People might drop in to inspect. Number 4, choose a checked or striped wallpaper. People will be halfway home before they are able to focus. Number 5, use old newspapers to line your dresser drawers. I tried it, and now I have only to look under my husband's handkerchiefs to relive World War II. Number 6, convert the downstairs recreation room into a cellar. The uninvited. No home should be without these 6 basic rules for entertaining unexpected guests. Post them on the inside of your refrigerator door. Number 1, if someone calls and says they'll be right over, throw everything down the clothes chute, including the kids. Number 2, put up a chain across the driveway so people don't drive up to the back door and come into the house through your ever messy kitchen. Number 3, explain the way the house looks by saying you're doing a magazine article and you can't change anything until you have the before pictures taken. If you have used this line once, try an alternate lie. Pretend you're an astrology buff and say, oh, a Taurus wasn't supposed to start anything today. Number 4, if a guest is wearing glasses as he walks out the door, grab them before he notices that they're clean and say, let me wipe the dust off for you. I didn't get that one. 5. Oh, so as if okay, got it. 5. If relatives call and say they're dropping in and you have the horrifying thought that they may want to spend the night, have the family watch TV for 6 hours straight to develop red eyes, and just before they get there, spray the house with Vicks. If they already have colds, you're sunk. Number 6. If Mrs. Clean catches you in your bathrobe at 11 a.m., you have 2 choices. Either grab a bar of soap and drape a bath towel over your arm, or wrap a wool sock around your throat. With the latter, she may even be so sympathetic she'll go home and send you some homemade soup that you can serve your kids for lunch. Planned partyhood. Number 1, only entertain in October. People will be favorably impressed at seeing your storm windows up so early. If they don't live in the neighborhood, they won't know that they weren't taken down all summer. Number 2, always give a hard times party. They'll think you made the house look that way on purpose. Number 3, do not have company when the sunlight is streaming through the windows. Everything shows up. Either entertain at night or close the drapes and break the cord. Number 4, no matter what time your guests arrive, pretend that they're early, so naturally you're not ready. What Amy Vanderbilt doesn't tell you. Number 1, have one feature that you are well known for, like big meals, clean kids, or the neighborhood gossip. Number 2, volunteer to go around on charity drives. It will make you feel good. You're bound to find somebody in worse mess than you are, and try to go around collecting at 8 in the morning. Number 3, tell people you've been developing hobbies to enjoy when the kids are grown. Don't tell them that the hobbies are rocking and napping. Number 4, beware of the mother who comes to your house carrying a baby. If she hasn't already seen your bedroom, she may want to lay him on the bed. Number 5, if company drops in and the children are wearing grimy sweatshirts, have them lie on their stomachs in front of the television. Number 6, no matter what anybody drops behind the couch, do not let them retrieve it, whether it's a wristwatch or a diamond ring. Offer to replace it. What's money compared to your ruined reputation? Number 7, to really impress people, sprinkle alcohol in your kids' underwear. They will think their father is a doctor. Don't call us. In the unlikely event that you are ever invited to a party, remember that, number 1, women of your kind do not wear lapel buttons so that they can be recognized. And you can easily find yourself in a group of women who are exchanging recipes or discussing knitting patterns. The only safe way to avoid this is to drift over to a group of men. If they are exchanging recipes or discussing knitting patterns, leave the party and take your husband with you. Oh, that's not nice. Number 2, when you go to Mrs. Clean's for dinner and she serves something fancy like lobster thermidor, say, "What a coincidence! That's just what I left for the children." Number 3, as you're leaving her dinner party, say, "I had a lovely time, and I'm sure nobody noticed." Then leave quickly. Number 4, try to learn a little bit about flowers. Once when I was out, I complimented a hostess on her floral arrangement, and she said, "Those are forsythia." I asked if she lived next door. Get it? Forsythia. Okay, that's the end of chapter 4. See you next time.